What's up, everybody? How's it going? Coach Ryan here with Project Fresh. Sorry, for some reason, I just happened to have the of setting up my live stream and then not being able to get it to start once it's set up. So it's almost like I have to set it up right before I do it, and I don't get it. I haven't figured it out yet, but that's all right. We'll get it all figured out and ready to go. So, what's up, everybody? We've made it through another week here on the channel, here in life in general, and we're gonna cover something that my first training mentor always said in his programs. You guys may have heard of P90X and Tony Horton. I wear the P90X live bracelet. This actually no longer technically exists. The live format P90X, the program that no one could finish, that millions of people have finished, and has set the bar really high as far as program development. For the people who I joined the fitness world with, we all looked up to Tony Horton as our coach, our mentor. He helped all of us get our body transformations. It was how I started my first original full body transformation. The same basic idea that I now coach myself, body transformations. That 33 pounds I lost after college, I got the muscle build, and I did it through his program. I actually officially finished P90X. Let's see, I did the first one twice. I did P90X 2 and then P90X 3, I think 1 or 2 times. I've done it at least, completed it 4 times. I still teach the format generally loosely, kind of my own flair on it. They no longer officially do it as a company, but great program. And one of the things that if you guys have ever done a P90X program with Tony Horton, he's got his own brand now. I forget the name of it, but he's still bringing all kinds of success to people. He would always say, "Do your best and forget the rest." And I thought that was such a great line. I'm sure he may have gotten it from someone else. I don't know if there's an official quote for whoever did it, but whoever said it originally. But ultimately, I just felt like that would be a great way to finish the week. Do your best, forget the rest. And I think I could even add a little bit. Do your best, be grateful for what you're able to do, and forget the rest. We can only do what we can do, right? And every person has limitations. My dad always used to tell me that every man should know his limitations. And for me, that was really hard because I'm an A-type. I'm a go-getter type. I'm going to push every boundary. I'm going to chase every goal. I'm going to spread myself as thin as possible because that's just the way I operate. But every once in a while, those words that my dad would say, every man and woman should know their boundaries, that definitely comes to mind, because we do have limitations, each and every one of us. We all have skill sets and gifts and traits and skill sets that we've developed that allow us to have success in what we do. But at the end of the day, those are resources that have limitations. They're not infinite. They're not reaching into the heavens. We all have, only so much, and you can only stay awake for so long, right? Excuse me. That being said, do your best, have gratitude on what you were able to accomplish, and forget the rest. And forget the rest is, I didn't do this, I wasn't able to do that, I'm not there yet, all those things. I had one client today say, thank you for keeping my fat A in shape, my fat ass in shape. And I was like, come on, man. You got to have some grace for yourself. You definitely have to allow yourself some grace. And it's okay. I mean, I understand what he's saying, and by no means am I condemning what was said. He was being appreciative of me, and I greatly am thankful for clients who are appreciative of me. In fact, we'll go ahead and pause really quick. Gratitude for the day. Some of those challenges that I was sharing with you guys earlier this week, I went into those challenges with the mindset of, I am the one responsible for these challenges. sought forgiveness from all parties, including myself. By no means am I healed. By no means am I cured. By no means have I grown between now and when we talked about it last. But I have started that process, asking for forgiveness, really working on changing the mindset around those particular areas where the focus is on this negative side, like I was talking about focus, right? That's focus spectrum, if we will. And so I've started that journey of transformation in the mind, thinking about those things in a different way, so I can shift that focus over here. So I just want to share that with you guys. That that is where I'm at with that process. So we're making a step towards progress. I can't say there's any measurable progress, maybe other than a few good conversations that came out of it, which I think is very valuable. Communication is very valuable, but I just want to give that little tweet to that and bring us back to the do your best, forget the rest. So ultimately, at the end of the day, that's all we can do. But I think taking it to that extra level and encouraging you, encouraging me to have gratitude around what we have our capacity is to our love ourselves and our own abilities, because our abilities are what they are. That's how we were designed, that's how we were made. And it may not be like someone else, but man, comparison can kill your gratitude. Comparison can kill your joy. Comparison can kill a byproduct of joy, happiness. Comparison can take you out, and we have a lot of comparison in our country, and it's kind of naturally ingrained in us. In sports, especially for us, athletic types that are competitive. The top 10, the greatest, the GOAT, all of these arguments of who was the best, who is the best. Always, 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 always a part of the conversation in sports. In academics, who's the laudes, summa cum laude, magna cum laude, who had the best grades, who had the best looks, who had the best skills, who had the best boyfriend and girlfriend, who had the best, whatever hair in high school. It's always a competition. It seems always a comparative, um, a battle for who has the best, and so it seems like it's ingrained in us. And somehow, some way, sometimes, a lot of the times, we can miss loving ourselves in those scenarios and situation and environments. And ultimately, we were created for ourselves, or excuse me, rather, we were created with a certain set of gifts, a certain a personality, a temperament that is beautiful, that is unique. And so what I'm saying today is to encourage you, just overall on the top, on the overall scheme of things, encourage you to do your best, as my coach would tell me, and millions of others. Forget the rest. Have gratitude in that process, but especially in the context of what we've been talking about with health and fitness and the fresh model: fitness, finances, recreation, relationships, education, sanctity, soul health, and spiritual health there, and overall health. Do your very best. Forget the rest, because if you remember the rest, you're just adding anchors. Imagine you're floating above the surface, you're a buoy, and you're having a nice day, and you're just rocking back and forth. Those, your best keeps you floating, right? But if you add all the rest, you start attaching those anchors, those hooks to the buoy, and on the end of those ropes are weights. And depending on how heavy duty they are, maybe guilt, maybe shame, maybe doubt, maybe fear, anxiety, concern about what other people think, feeling not great or feeling bad based on what other people say, depending on how much that weighs on you, that's pulling on your buoy, and now it's harder to rock back and forth and do what you do as a buoy. I don't know why I came up with the example of a buoy. It's just the first image that just came to my mind. And it's harder to rock, which, as a buoy, rocking is fun, right? That's the natural function of what a buoy does, back and forth with the waves. And before you know it, you're just starting to all those weights are starting to pull you down. The water level is rising. The light and the beacon that's at the top is now starting to sink, and everything around you, it's harder to see you. And you keep that up, you can find yourself underwater. um, it might be a little counterintuitive to actually how a buoy works, because it's anchored in place, right? It's got to be anchored in place so it stays in the same place. It's a geographical marker in the sea or in a body of water. So if it isn't anchored to the ocean floor, then it can freely move anywhere it goes, right? So I guess that wasn't the best analogy, but hey, I think you guys get what I mean. Okay. So it just seemed to work. But ultimately, uh, doing your best is what you're able to do. Okay. If you're able to get out and walk 15 minutes and walk enough to get the heart rate up and knock it out and get back in the door and call that a day for activity, all right, that's your best. If you're, Peloton's a big thing right now. If you jump on and do one of the 30 minutes or 50 minutes or however long they go, I have no idea. I've never done a Peloton class, but you jump on, you do a class and you're feeling good, great. You're like, Ryan, are you kidding? I have no way, no how could I afford $3,000, $4,000 stationary bike? How about pedaling in place on the floor? Excellent. Can you do it for 15 minutes? Perfect. Is it boring? Of course. That sounds super boring. But did you get your heart rate up? Did you break a little sweat? Did you give yourself an opportunity to add some energy back into your day? Absolutely. And that's what counts. Every little bit counts. And when you compound those same progressive steps forward, doing your best, forgetting the rest, it's going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until 1.1 time, one day along the way, you're going to have that success. And it's so easy for us to look to the left or to the right instead of just dial in and focus. We have so many distractions, so many things going on, so many things we can distract ourselves with. And at the end of the day, it's all about what do we dial in on? What do we focus on? How do we seek to, what would I say? How do we seek to just stay focused on what matters most to us? And if that's hard for you right now, you may want to stop and think, well, why is it so hard for me? Why am I allowing all this peripheral stuff to stop me from dialing in right here, dialing in right here? Why is my gratitude being blocked? Why is my joy being hampered? Why are things getting in my way? I think that's a fair question. Grab a piece of paper, start writing things down, start reflecting. I recommend to a lot of my clients some kind of mode of reflection. I do not have my every time I want to get something, it's like away from me and I can't go grab it. But I've got my journal, which I use to write reflections, gratitudes, goals, what I learned for the day, and very valuable for me, definitely. And keeping track of those things, having something you can write in, physically write in. There's something about writing it down that just helps with maintaining retaining memory. Also, it's nice to have something physical to go back to. It's always fun to look back on things from years past and see if your handwriting has changed. I always just laugh at myself when I look at my handwriting. But ultimately, just to have something physical that you can hold in your hands, tangible, that you can read and say, wow, that was my thought process. Those were my struggles. Those were my challenges. And think back to, wow, I've grown, or wow, maybe that's still something I haven't had a chance, excuse me, to address yet. But ultimately, have something you can look back to. Very valuable thing. And in this particular piece and space and place, get down into those why questions. Why is this hard for me? A One way that you could do your best and forget the rest is to drill down and ask yourself the why question. Why is X, Y, and Z, whatever that may be, important to me today? Okay. And then once you answer that question, ask the question why again and do that 7 levels deep. Now, I don't have enough time to explain that in further detail because we've got a short session today, as usual, 15 minutes. But I believe it either came from Tony Robbins or Dean Graziosi or maybe one of their mentors or one of those guru guys. But anyway, long story short, I've done that. And man, when you really are truthfully honest about why, not what, but why in answering those questions, man, it can really take you somewhere. 7 steps, 7 layers deep. The first, the what you want, and then why, and then 7 times all the way down to each one of those answers. So you'd have 7 total, and then it'll really bring it out of you. Do your best, forget the rest, and have gratitude in what you're able to do. And like I said, you are created You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You have seeds of greatness inside of you based on your design. Work them out, bring them out. Because I saw this the other day. Someone said, stop or don't stop writing your ideas down because the rest of us need to hear them. Don't stop doing what you're doing that you're great at because the rest of us need to experience your greatness. Okay. Stop withholding your great ideas. Stop withholding your great acts. Stop walking around with a frown on your face because we need to see your beautiful smile. Quit hiding that beautiful face. Quit hiding the skills that you're good at, but you're afraid people are going to judge you. I don't know, whatever it may be. Um, Whatever, I'm talking to everybody generally here. So however you fall into those things I just said, so be it. But ultimately, what I'm getting at is do your best, forget the rest, and I just encourage you to be grateful for it. So it'll go far. It's Friday night. I think I had a few other things that I wanted to cover, but I could just make them topics. I will say this really quick before we jump off. It is November. Thanksgiving is less than 2 weeks away. Project Fresh is going to be doing our first Black Friday special. If you are a client and you've worked with us in the past, we've got a special for you. We're actually going to be providing you with the 28-day program that we're doing for our Black Friday, where we have that significantly discounted for you to give as a gift to family, friends, and loved ones, to do stocking stuffers, or perhaps if you want to have the opportunity to give someone a gift of getting in ahead of their health now before the holidays complete themselves. We still have about 47 days until we get into that. Excuse me. They can get started now on their fitness, not later. Also, for those who haven't worked with us yet, it'd be their first time, we have that same 28-day available to you for an insanely great value. And all you need to do is message us, shoot us a text. You can text us at 650-590-5899, 650-590-5899. Just shoot us a text and say, hey, Ryan, we spoke to you, or we heard you talk on your YouTube live tonight. We heard about your Black Friday special. It's called our Blue Card Special. And again, we've got two different avenues for clients: a special for you to give the gift of health to your loved one, family, and friends, and for those who are new to us, to give yourself the gift of health this holiday season. We will be coaching you customized programming. All you have to do, we're going to cover fitness, nutrition, and accountability, all the coaching and service you need to be successful in losing weight, burning belly fat, toning up, building muscle. All you need to do is cover your food and supplements, and we'll rock it together and have a great time. Okay. So that's where we're at. I wanted to throw that in there. I'll talk more about it here and there next week. And as we get closer to Thanksgiving, I can't believe we're almost at Thanksgiving season. I keep seeing these coronavirus numbers just go up and up and up. I saw we were over 150,000 yesterday. And so now it's at a point where about 8 to 9 days in a row, leading about 8 to 9 days in a window of time, we're now getting 1 million cases in that short of a time period just here in the United States. That is insane. So please be safe. Please be careful. Please protect yourself. Please get those workouts in, eat, drink, and do everything else you need to be as healthy and the best version of you as possible, because this virus is not messing around. And it is cold season where it's so much easier to catch a cold, so much easier to get sick. So I'm just encouraging you guys to please hang in there, be safe, and be well, okay? And we're here for you. Hope you have a beautiful weekend. It's rainy here in the Bay Area, so our rain season is here. It's getting chillier and darker faster, so requires some extra clothing. And my wife and I are going to go hang out and open up some cards and have some fun for our Friday night together. It's kind of turned into our weekend pastime since everything is indoors now. We've gotten into an old childhood pastime, which has been a lot of fun. And so we're going to go set that up and have some cool fun with that. So that being said, we'll see you guys next week. Please be safe. We'll talk to you soon.